let me try that. Let me do that exact idea I was talking about. I'm just gonna play a couple of bars of groove, and whenever I feel like, I'm going to throw in a fill, but I'm gonna limit my fills to just using like, let my right hand do some accents, just kind of guide the way. My left hand will like fill in the notes, fill in the ghost notes on the snare, and maybe I'll change around some subdivisions and I'll do some stuff, and maybe I'll like end on a crash. And that's basically going to be the idea I'm going to work with. The fill itself is just going to be toms, kick, snare, no actual cymbals or anything in the fills. I'm trying to achieve the similar vibe. So every time I give it another go, maybe it doesn't sound that great, or maybe the next time I come up with something super, super cool, and at the end of it, who knows, maybe I'll discover my new favorite fill. And that has happened countless times where I just kind of sat down and messed around with an idea, and at the end of it, I had a new favorite fill that I played all the time for like a year to come. You know, it shaped my style. So less talking and more playing. I'll just kind of do this, and you'll see what I mean. Okay. Something along those lines, huh? Well, you can maybe you notice that although every fill was different because they were all improvised, they had something in common, like they had a common denominator, right? Where they came from this kind of the same approach every time. And just by doing this, like imagine now I did like 1 minute. If you do this for like 20 minutes in a row, eventually you're gonna find yourself repeating things, and that will force you even more to challenge yourself to like get out of this box that you're confining yourself to. And with time, you are going to discover something. Like I promise you, do this 10 minutes per day with any given idea at any given time, as long as you have a decent day. I mean, sometimes we have terrible days where nothing sounds good, and that's fine. It's part of the process. You'll learn from that too. But as long as you have a little bit of a flow, take 10 minutes per day, sit down, do this. I guarantee you will venture on this journey where you kind of find your own style. You will discover what impulses you have when you force yourself to do something like that. You'll notice that you'll fall into the same category of fill all the time. You keep doing the same thing, and then you learn, oh, that's me, that's what I like to do. So maybe you want to change that, or maybe you want to roll with that. Again, self-exploration. You get to know yourself. And I believe, like, although lessons, obviously taking lessons and having a teacher that can guide you on the way is a great thing, but I think if you become too dependent on that, you're never really actually going to find your own style. You're just going to be like a blueprint drummer just like anyone else. Does that make sense? So I think it's important that no matter who you are and what you're trying to do or what skill level you're at, if you're a complete beginner or you're a super amazing drummer, like this kind of approach, I think, is important that you actually use, at least a little bit. You see what I mean? This approach, like, it actually works. This is what I do all the time, and this is the full extent of my practice. I don't do exercises, I don't do, books or anything. This is all I do. I sit down and I play and I do this, and at the same time, again, I'm focused. I try to pay attention. Maybe I'm noticing my left hand is struggling, my left hand is weak, I can't get the ghost notes to sound fast enough or clean enough. And then I pay attention to that as I'm practicing. I'm trying to forcefully use ghost notes as much as I can to make myself used to using them. And with time, they grow. I become better. I become cleaner, and I pay attention. I try to sound as good as I can. I'm my own hardest critic, and that's it. That's how I practice. And for me, that makes sense. Maybe for all drummers, maybe you need a teacher. Maybe you need a book. Maybe you're not this type of drummer. But this is my approach of doing things. And while again, it might not work for everyone, I encourage you to try it, and to try this free-form way of practicing, and maybe it will make sense for you, and if it doesn't, well, at least you tried something new, or you probably learned something.